Hey, good morning. Happy New Year's. Yes, it's the New Year's. It's the 1st of January, right? Hopefully, you guys didn't party too hard last night. This puppy, he's in bed usually by 7, latest 8 o'clock. So I didn't see any balls drop or anything else. And my New Year's resolution is just to, we'll go into that. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Wednesday the 1st. You know, you would think I'd take the day off, but I enjoy doing this, to be honest with you. I enjoy connecting with you. I enjoy spending time with you guys. So this isn't a chore. So that brings us to New Year's resolutions. And we talked about how a lot of times we say these things, but we never follow through, right? And there's certain ways that will better equip you to actually follow through if they're actually good ones to do, right? So, what New Year's resolutions do I have? Well, my first one is spend more time with family and friends. That's a biggie. Because I'm a workaholic. If it's not the shop, the cows, I'm doing something here on the farm. And I'm always too busy, right? There's always tomorrow. And I learned sometimes there will be no tomorrow. That day will come. And that day could have come. Right? So that's the top one. Keeping, this has brought me closer to my family and my friends, and I'm not going to jeopardize that. And I will continue to keep that at my number one thing, not only for this coming year, but from now on. That I've been shown what are really important. You guys are really important. Work comes and goes. We have good times, we have bad times, right? But we persevere, right? So that was my first one. My second one is take more time off. That kind of leads from the same thing, being a workaholic. I've got all the toys, but I never have time to use them. One of the things that right up into my late 20s, 30s that I love to do is fish. I love hunting. I love fishing. Pretty much anything to do with the outdoors, right? Except camping, tents, and all that. If you're going to take me camping, you better have a fifth wheel fold out with a nice mattress, or this puppy ain't going. But now we have camps that I love going to that look like hellhole shiny shacks, but it doesn't leak and it's got good mattresses and couches to sleep on. But I want to take more time, especially fishing, because fishing you can do in the morning, noon, night. And last year I sold off 3 of my fishing boats because they just sat here, right? And I thought, what is the best one to have if I had a minute to go fishing? And that is just simply my aluminum little runabout. It's got a 9.9 Nissan motor on it, electric start, and I got fishing tackle up to the wazoo. Actually, one of the guys that was working for us commented, do you need any more fish poles? Because I've got like 50 or 60 of them in a corner. I'm a hoarder, I told you, and I've got 5 of the tackle boxes that you carry, and they have the plastic draws in them that are loaded, and they're labeled on top: bass, walleye, you know, jig fishing, topwater fishing, you know, you name it, I've got it. And why do I have it? Because I keep thinking and buying shit because that's what I want to be able to do, but I never find time. So that's number 2, is finding time to enjoy the things that I used to enjoy a lot and that I'm sure I will get enjoyment out of. The shop will not shut down if I take a couple hours off to go fishing. The third is to try to increase work for the shop. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I've been starting to wind it down. You know, eBay and Amazon, the Chinese have pretty well decimated the market. So I'm just trying to clear out new old stock that I have. And I'm not buying a bunch back in from the OEM and aftermarkets because there's no way I can compete in the same realm as China. I don't know whether the newer administration can help out on that, but it's hard for a lot of governments to step in if the people are able to buy cheap crap, right? And when I say cheap crap, in honesty, where are the OEM and aftermarkets getting their stuff manufactured? China. I've got OEM home lights. I got OEM Generac. I got OEM Briggs. And what does it say on the box or the packaging that it's on? Made in China. Made in China. And I've got people that all they want is OEM. And I've listed stuff OEM on eBay to have one of my buyers buy it and then open a return because it said made in China on it. And that it was not an OEM Briggs. I said, yes, it is. 100% yes, it is. You're getting the same stuff. The only difference is, I think, is the OEM and the aftermarkets have got quality control people in place to make sure that the Chinese are not melting their old bicycles and making carburetors for them. So, is the quality of an OEM Briggs better than the Chinese knockoff that you're seeing on eBay? Probably. Because there's more stringent steps involved. And I even heard through the grapevine that a lot of stuff that you're seeing flooding the market from China, the cheap carburetors and stuff, are the ones that the OEM and aftermarkets rejected because the standards were not up to par. I don't know that for a fact. But that's what I hear. And what I do know is that the Chinese will tell you that a carburetor will fit a gazillion things when it won't. It, honest to God, won't. And if you go by pictures, and you're looking at your carburetor, you're looking at the picture they have, they just throw any picture that they could think of up there. And then say it fits all these different ones. So it's kind of a crapshoot. So if you get a carburetor and it doesn't work right from China on your unit, it could still be the carburetor. You know, Jason, I think, has said it the most. Get yourself an ultrasonic cleaner. Take the OEM carburetor that you took off from it. Soak it in, put it in a jar full of gas. Drop it into the cleaner, the unit. So you're not getting everything all crap. But I fill the unit with water, and then I use different holding things with different detergents, depending on what I want to do. If I'm just trying to clean something up, I may use the purple stuff there. and let it just sit there, because you're still getting the ultrasonic bubbles coming up through as long as there's a liquid in there as well. It will go through a jar. It will go through a baggie. And don't take my word for it. Just YouTube it. There's a ton of really smart people out there that are showing you how they do it. And that's how I learned these different little tricks, because the first couple I used the cleaner that came with it from Harbor Freight, and I was cleaning the unit more often than not because it was leaving this film all the way around it. Okay, so increase work into the shop. That means, I'm not pounding the pavement. I'm not calling in leads. I'm not really pursuing. If you want the work done, we're here. If you don't, so I can increase work, and I've already done it. I started last week, and I brought in 2 new farm tractor repairs that we wouldn't have normally have got, but I went after them, and we got them. We actually went and picked up one yesterday, and that's at the shop, and I've got one to pick up tomorrow. Get them there and make a few bucks for the shop and Cloud 9. The fourth thing was to try to increase the size of the channel. See, I don't want our YouTube channel to become work. No, I'm not willing to take that next leap. There's a lot of people out there that look at their channel as a business. I don't. I am trying to increase eyes on what we have to offer, because I think the more people involved, the better the channel can be, right? And the more people out there that are asking these questions that I'm answering, that Jason's answering, that Amos is answering, that Randy, Steve, the list goes on, that are answering, are ones that need to be heard. And I'll be honest with you, what I love to get and tap into is the young ones that want to get into this industry, because I hate to say it, but it's getting to be a dying breed. It's older folks that have got the older repair shops. Everybody knows the small engine repair guy, right? And a lot of places, it's dark and dingy. But the guy knows what he's doing. But what I'd like to see is to pair up a lot of these young guys with those old guys and carry on what we're doing. Right now, even with the way the battery situation is, with the handhelds and all that, you're not going to see the small engine gas phased out, and probably in at least 20, 30 years anyways. So people my age, pretty safe to say you can retire and have an auction and just clear the place, right? And for that guy that is looking at, well, I retired early from this job, whether it be a state job or a federal job, you're still looking at 20 to 30 years down the road. And I had mentioned, I think it was yesterday or the day before in the video, that if you don't see the writing on the wall as well, and you're not taking on the handhelds, like the push mowers, they still have a lawnmower blade, you still have cables, you still have oil in the gearbox. The only difference is you don't have a spark plug, and you don't have a physical engine per se, because the battery is running that, right? But you can still have where you do a service on it, right? So I want to increase the size of the channel. I want to increase, this channel has been going now. I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary, and we have over 4,000 subscribers. Yes, over 4,000. And each one, we have worked I have worked my butt off to get people here. And again, I don't treat it as a business because it's not making me squat. What I am treating it as is a way to get word out and to educate people and say, come here. We will show you and tell you how for free. There's no strings attached. None. It's all strictly advice and how we approach things. And I say it in so many of my videos. I'm at the advice stage. Take what you can use, leave the rest, and work it into your system that you have for your shop or your nights and weekends. Right? But I'm pretty proud that we have over 4,000 subscribers. And we brought in almost 900 in the last couple months. And that is, I've been hiring key people to get us so that we're seen by Google. And Google is bringing in a lot of eyes. Now, for every person that subscribes, the way I look at it, there's close to 75 to 300 people that are here and watching the channel. You know, when I'm seeing views on certain ones that are over 3,000, that resonates. That it's something that people want to hear about. Whereas if I see lower view counts, then maybe not so much, or we haven't tapped the right market of where people are looking. You know, when it comes to entertainment, you know, of doing crazy things to try to get you to watch the channel, I don't believe in that. To each their own, right? I just want to give you the best possible information so that you can make an informed decision on whatever you approach. You know, things that I've learned from you guys, you know, with a compression tester out in the vehicle before you even unload it. Diagnostic feeds, because I was spending so much time doing this with customers that I swear were finding stuff on the side of the road and bringing it to me. Once they figured out that I was going to charge them, I stopped seeing that crap. So that brings me to my last one, the fifth one, and that is to become better organized and cleaner. And I told you I'm kind of a semi-hoarder. And certain things don't rate high in my priority list, right? You know, I'm not trying to impress anybody. So with not trying to impress anybody, the shop tends to get cluttered. You know, you guys were very instrumental in helping me take that whole area out in front of where the customers come in and stuff and turn it over into a nice, clean, well-lit workshop that I could do videos, and that I could also do the handheld stuff. And it also, I think, helped us with customers coming in, because if you come into an old, dingy, not well-lit, crap everywhere, you probably might have second opinions. But I can tell you from history and seeing this happen, I've walked into shops that you could have ate off the floor. They couldn't do anything mechanical in their shop. They spent so much time on the front end of trying to impress their customer that they didn't put in a good mechanic out back to do a good job or to take their job seriously. There's a trade-off, right? But there's always a but, right? But I see a lot of room for improvement when it comes to me, whether it's home, shop, cows. There's always room to improve, and getting better organized is one, you know, and cleaning up the clutter. Claude has been after me now for a couple of years, because we've kind of gone through phases, my wife and I, over the past 23, 24 years of marriage. And that is, we've collected certain things at certain times. And I can remember getting into the antiques. You know, we were buying a lot of antique furniture, buying a lot of antique glassware, and it wasn't cheap glassware, it was top shelf. And a lot of the older toys, the small matchboxes and that stuff. And I've got some things, you know, a roll top desk that was last appraised, I want to say 25, 30 years ago. And at that time, it was over $30,000 is what it was worth. And he's after me because I've been talking with my kids, more so now than in the past, of, are there certain things that you want from the house? You know, if it was handed down to me, which was that roll top desk, it came actually from Scotland, and it was 5, 6 generations back. So that would make it my great, 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 great grandmother, with 5 kids in tow, came to the New World, and that was her prized possession. And they traveled by horse with wagon train, and they set up. And this has been handed down through, okay? And then my great-great-grandfather was what's the right word for it? I mean, he was a carpenter, but he was a cabinet maker, and he made certain things. But what he did that was astounding is how he could engrave. And I have one set of matching bookcases that are made from oak that actually have the oak nut, you know, where he took and it's coming off from the furniture. And I've got an old 303 British that my one grandfather, great-great-grandfather, was a gunsmith. And he redid the whole stock, and that's still in my possession. And these things, you know, I'm asking my kids, because I'll be honest with you, nowadays, kids don't see value in stuff. It's a throwaway generation. I understand it. So a lot of the things that did have value have lost value because the kids, and when I say kids, even 40-year-olds, stop collecting. But what I've seen the last 2 or 3 years is a resurgence, and people wanting to put their money into something that's going to hold value, if not increase over time. So the collecting market has actually started to take off again, and people are looking to buy the older stuff. So Claude's been after me. He's like, look, you need to go through your stuff. Honest to God. He said, if this hasn't taught you something, but he's been after me now for some time, but he's really after me now. And he's saying, look, you know, you only go around once, and you got lucky. You got a second chance. All that stuff that you and your wife collected, it sits in totes or is in cabinets that never get seen or cleaned, or why not sell it? Why not sell it? And that way you take the proceeds from that and buy yourself, if you want a brand new boat, go get a brand new boat. If you want a brand new this, go get it. If you want to increase the size of your herd, do it. If you want to get a brand new tractor with a cab so you're not out in the weather that's got heat, do it. problem I see with buying a new boat, new tractor, new anything, is they don't hold value. And I've always been, and it drives Claude totally nuts. Amos, you'll understand it. And possibly you too, Jason. Is that when I approach looking at purchasing something, what I'm looking at is, can I get at least what I've got in it back out of it if I need to get rid of it in a hurry? So I'm looking at it as a flipper. Yes, it'd be nice to have, but if I get into a tight situation, can I get out from underneath it and at least recoup what I've got in it? And that drives Claude nuts because he's saying, look, you've been wanting a 1977, 78 Camaro, something you had when you were younger. And you've seen them even locally. One that they were asking $12,000 for, that'd be a great resto, that the body, the unibody wasn't all shot, but it needed new interior, and we've seen them for up to $30,000 completely restored. He said, why don't you get something like that? Because he went out and he always wanted a vet. So he ended up buying a Corvette with the LS engine in it. Yes, he's 73 and he drives that vet everywhere all summer. And then he parks it for the winter. I've got a Jaguar 12 cylinders sitting in my garage that I bought this past summer because I usually grab an old car every year to drive around to have some fun in the summer, and something I can flip and make a few bucks on while I'm driving it. And people aren't looking for something that they're going to have to put away for the winter in the fall of the year. So we put it in the garage. And actually, we were in there yesterday making sure my generator runs, because I've got one that'll run the whole house. It's 4 or 5 years old. It's brand spanking new. Hasn't even had a tank of fuel through it. But we were out there making sure everything would start up on it and run, because it's very critical for me with having these batteries charged and also have a way to send the data through the internet to my doctors that are in Syracuse. So if something goes wrong, that they will pick up on it. And my assumption is that this unit does end up shocking me, that it sends alerts to them at the same time to get me the help I need. So on that note, Happy New Year to you guys. I hope this year brings you everything and more. And, when it comes to resolutions, make them realistic and down to earth. So on that note, you guys have a great Wednesday. I'm not sure what I'm doing today. I'd like to get some groceries in. And then tomorrow's back to the grind, right? I'll probably go down to the shop this morning because I haven't got anything else going on. So on that note, you guys have a great New Year's. And we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning for Thursday at the weekday.